Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. I'm going to talk about plant bargains and how you can get free plants. Have you heard that phrase? You'll always find me in the kitchen at parties. Well, you'll always find me in the plant clearance section at garden centres. These are just a few of the bargains I picked up yesterday. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a list of all the bargains I've had over the years. I've done a little bit of an audit, so we're going to have some fun. Right, let's talk through what I've got through on this table first. So here is a tray of pansies. They were originally for sale for £5. The label is faded. I bought that whole tray for 50 pence. This one here is a house plant, marked up at £5.99, marked down to £3. That's actually two plants in one pot. We're going to divide it today, and this is a trough of plants, and this was a Mother's Day present idea for people, and it was originally priced at £24.99. Some people will have bought it for £24.99. I've bought it for £5. We're going to divide that up today and see what's in there. Whilst I'm doing these little jobs, I'm going to give you some clips, some video clips of the plants I've bought previously, reduced like this, and how they are looking now. Now this one here, this was a giveaway, originally £3, or you could get 4 for 10, but they've given that away. I mean, I'm not surprised. You couldn't really sell that. I mean, look at the state of it. But look, there's some fresh growth on here. It smells wonderful. It's a herb. Now I know for a fact that if I take my secateurs and if I just get hold of the living bit here that's got fresh growth on it, and if I just snip all that away like that, and then bury that or plant it in the ground, that will grow back, and it will grow back quickly because it's got lots of roots, and I can see even now there's some fresh growth coming through underneath. So there's one little idea. That was free. Let's get back to these. The pansies. £5 reduced to 50 pence, so that's 90% off. I've paid 10% of the original price. I wouldn't normally buy pansies, but there's nothing wrong with them. I've given them a really good soak, and they're all healthy plants. They are going to be interplanted into my chard bed, and they will give me months of beautiful colour. And every time I walk past my chard bed, I'll see those and I'll think, wow, wasn't I lucky to get that bargain? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is take apart the trough, the Mother's Day present trough. But whilst I'm doing that, whilst we're looking at what's actually in there, I'm going to talk about some of the things I've bought over the years. And the first thing I want to tell you about is some box plants I bought. Now these were in Morrison's, and you will not believe that I got these for £2.50 each. I've seen box pyramids like this, £15–20, and I've got them 4 for £10. And I hope you would agree that that is a wonderful bargain. I may be repeating myself, but my advice is whenever you buy something reduced, get it in a big tub of water, plunge it and let it soak. If you plunge it and bubbles come out, it's obviously dry. Wait till the bubbles have stopped, leave it for another half hour to an hour. Right, I'm going to take this apart first. I'm sure there's two little plants in here. Let's see if we can divide this into two little plants, and we've already then doubled our money. So it was half price, it was £6 I think, yep, approximately £5.99, reduced to £3, so half price. And look at that, how easy was that? This is now 2 for the price of 4, am I right? 2 plants, and I will plant them up separately in 2 separate pots, and I'll let them grow on. I'll probably do some research on how to look after them. That's the wonderful thing about YouTube. Sansevieria Black Diamond. Brilliant. Right, let me talk about another bargain that I've had over the years. Now I went to Morrison's once again at the end of the year when they were selling off their stock, and I was about the time when I wanted to make a hedge, and I thought, right, there are some bamboos. Could I make a hedge with them? Well, indeed I could, and I have, and here's some footage of that hedge. Now these were reduced from £36 each to £8. So I got this whole hedge for only £64. Again, I hope you would agree that that is a brilliant bargain. Right, let's take this apart and see what's in here. If nothing else, I'll have an attractive little pot there, or planter, that I can give to a friend. Right, on this tray, I'm now going to take this apart and see what's in here. It was £24.99. It was £5 when I bought it. We'll see what we've got. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll tell you about another plant I bought, which I got a real bargain on. And that is my asparagus. Again, just beyond the planting season, they were selling off asparagus crowns, and I bought 8. And they should have been £5 each. I bought them for 50p each. That was 3 years ago. And now I've got a 20-year supply of asparagus. Asparagus is not cheap, and I love it. So that for me is a win-win-win. 50p for an asparagus crown that should have been £4.99. Brilliant. Right, let's get into this pot and let's see if we can make this work for us. Those are those 2 plants that I did earlier. Right, let's see if we can just gently encourage this out without doing any damage to the plants that are inside. And out it comes, and in fact it's coming out very easily because I think these plants are still in their original root balls. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We've got clearly a little fern there, and another little fern there. These 2 little things, I don't know, no idea what they are. And it doesn't actually say on the label what they are, so I'm going to have to do some identification on those 2. And look at that there. Beautiful little peace lily. Really healthy little plant, that. I've no idea what that is. It looks like a house plant, but it's alive. Right, let me come back on camera and show you what we've got here. So whilst I'm gathering these up, let me tell you about another plant bargain that I got, which was my snake's head fritillaries. I paid £2 for the snake's head fritillaries. They were already in seed, so they'd already gone to seed, which meant that they didn't really have any flowers on for last year. I planted them by the pond, and I harvested the seeds, which have grown, and I've now got a lot of baby snakehead fritillaries. Right, there's that little tray of plants taken apart. Now I could put them all in an individual pot on this plant tray on a window ledge, and I will have an attractive display. I could even add these as well. Wonderful, very happy with that. So that is £5, £6, £7 for that whole tray. Wonderful. Now while we're on the subject of houseplants, let me tell you about another plant bargain. I bought a begonia, and I liked it because it was one of those strange begonias with very bumpy leaves, and coincidentally I'd seen one on Gardener's World the week before. What I really liked about it, it was reduced from £5 to £1. Now there's another brilliant way that you can get plant bargains, and that's to buy seeds. And you can buy seeds when they're selling them off. Don't worry about it, because people keep seeds in store for years and years and years. So just because the packets are a little bit faded and the supermarket or the garden centre can't sell them, doesn't mean they won't grow. And I got a whole bed of chard from a single packet of seeds. Think about that. Right, while we're on the subject of bargains, let me tell you about a visit I made to RHS Harlow Car last year. And I went to the clearance section, and there was a black bamboo, and it was reduced from £100 to £25. I asked for a bit more discount, and the answer was no. So I did pay £25 for it, and I did a video on it, Bamboo Rescue. I divided it with a saw into 5 chunks. 4 out of the 5 chunks have burst into life, and now I have a wonderful, healthy black bamboo in a big tub that would probably cost me £150. Brilliant. So there we go, plant bargain heaven. What's the moral of the story? Well, always dash to the clearance section, and don't be afraid of buying reduced price plants. There's often nothing wrong with them, they're just not attractive enough to sell, whether it's faded packets or faded labels, or maybe they've just gone out of season. For example, the Mother's Day presents. I'm delighted. I'm really happy with my haul, my plant haul. Hope you've enjoyed that. I'll see you soon for some more plant bargain adventures. Bye for now.